2, 1. Thank you. Well, good evening. I call this meeting of the Human Relations Commission to order at 6:33 on February 6, 2025. So good evening, everyone. It's really good to be in community with you all again, with everything going on in the world and with the work of the HRC being all the more important to our community. Before I begin, I want to make a couple of quick shout outs. First, I want to acknowledge the return of Principal Management Analyst Laurel James. Congratulations on your son and welcome back. I also want to acknowledge our newest commissioner, Elise Lester. We are so glad that you're here. Welcome. I know it's a little off agenda, but if you would like to take 30 seconds to just introduce yourself so we know a little bit more about who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be great.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elise. Some of you I've seen out in the community. I'm a Bay Area native. And I have really prioritized getting involved with my community the last 2 years through a number of organizations. I work for the California State Assembly in my day job, but I am also involved with a number of organizations like SUID. And yeah, I was very inspired by the work that I've seen this group do over my almost 2.5 years now here in Mountain View. And so I'm so excited to be a part of that. And thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. We're excited that you're here. What's SUID?
Sundowns.
Ah, nice. Oh, of course.
The Young Democrats.
Club.
Okay.
Hello, friends.
Yay! We were cheering for Joan.
Yeah.
We were cheering for
Joe,
Joan.
we got one right here for you.
I would cheer for Joan.
Come back. Got one right here for you.
Feel free to have a seat.
Come back. Can I give you a hug?
I forgot to let you all know that if anyone, well, in the room, Nirvana, just walked in, we have copies of the agenda back there. Everyone should have one at their seat. So next, I'll move on to roll call. I will now ask Principal Management Analyst Laurel James to take attendance by roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Chadwell?
Copy here. Yes.
Commissioner Lester?
Definitely.
Commissioner McDonald? Commissioner McDonald?
Joan.
Joan, are you
that
here?
is you.
I'm here.
Commissioner
Sorry.
Capone?
Here.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Webb?
Present.
And Interim Chair Sylvester.
I am here, thank you. Although we have no absences, I just want to make a note that the big policy K02 or whatever it was, that we had to excuse and not excuse absences is no longer a thing. So that will tighten up roll call. So moving on to item 3, minutes approval. The meeting minutes for the December 5th, 2024 regular meeting have been delivered to commissioner members and posted on the City Hall bulletin board. If there are no corrections or additions, a motion is in order to approve these minutes. Do I
So moved.
no corrections or additions to the minutes? Okay, so Joan has moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Webb. Show of hands if to approve the minutes. It looks like that passes unanimously. 4, oral communications from the public. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the commission on any item not on the agenda. Each speaker has up to 3 minutes to make their comments. State law prohibits the commission from acting on non-agenda items. I see nobody attending yet. If anyone is on the line, please raise your hand with the raise hand or *9 function. But seeing no people online and nobody in the room anymore, I will close oral communications from the public. We are moving along. Item 5, unfinished business. Our first item of unfinished business is the Storytelling Project Ad Hoc Committee. The Storytelling Ad Hoc Committee will present an oral update. No action will be taken on this item. Who would like to present?
I'll be honest, I probably slept through the last informationals. So if anyone knows anything more recent.
I think the current status is no progress since the last meeting, which I wish that I had a more productive update, but I do not. I think that what I would like to do is schedule a time for the subcommittee to talk about maybe reformatting it a little bit, making a simpler version of the submission process. I would like to revisit the idea of making a more kid-friendly version and maybe doing some tabling hours at the library that I'd be happy to volunteer for. But I think that we need to take some time and schedule that. So hopefully we can do that before we leave this room.
Great idea.
Sounds great. I did see it posted on our city website and it wasn't comfortable read, actually. It was very like,
Yeah,
oh, what is this? Like, oh, okay. And then, yeah, it was
yeah.
not
Yeah.
comfortably accessible.
That's the way to
Yeah.
put it.
I appreciate you saying that, cause yeah, like, I'll be honest, like, I've been meaning to submit something this entire time, and like, I've had it here, I'm working on it, and I think, I mean, also just in my own head, but it does feel like an intimidating submission, and even though, like, obviously I know that it's a very friendly environment. So anyway, I agree that it is, that more work could be done to make it seem, lower the barrier to entry for submissions. In terms of just making it easier. I don't know.
More accessible,
Yeah.
easily accessible kind of stuff.
I suggest that we have this conversation at an ad hoc.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Do any other members of the commission have any questions or comments on this project? Seeing that there is nobody here to give public comment, I will now close this item, moving on to item 5.2, the Multicultural Festival Committee. The Multicultural Festival Project Ad Hoc Subcommittee will present an oral update. I'm sorry, Ad Hoc Committee will present an oral update. No action will be taken on this item, and I'm sorry, I'm not sure who is going to represent. Thank you, Commissioner Webb.
We've met a few times with the city, and the event's still a go, March 15th. They're doing a call out for the performers and the booths as well. It's taking good shape. We're gonna meet again in I believe a week to see where they are as far as representatives. And the good thing is the people that do the stage inside are doing the run of the show. So instead of like the city employees that are running around trying to figure it out, they actually have the people that do stage productions doing it this year. So, so that's the thing that's gonna make it a lot smoother. And the one thing that we did say this year is if you walk up as a performer and you did not register, you will not be performing. So we're gonna keep the run of the show as tight as possible. So nothing ad hoc, no, if they get the instructions, this is your time slot, this is how long you have to go, and that's it, and we keep it moving. We've been a lot more flexible in the past, and that's something that we talked about tightening up this time. Other than that, when we need host, I'll reach out to you guys so we can all host. And you get your scripts, and the ones that haven't participated, it's really fun event. We all have a good day. We can dress up in everything in traditional clothing if we can, if we have it. And that's it. And we'll let you know the final stages on our next meeting. Yep. Questions, comments, concerns, confessions?
Confessions.
I wanna know why you started me for the fun clothing.
Well, because I want you to wear fun clothing.
You're gonna see something good now.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Thank you, Commissioner Webb. I see we now have buy-in that everyone has to dress up.
Joan? You have to dress up for the multicultural festival. You have to dress up for the multicultural festival. I'll pick an outfit out for you.
I don't know what my role is gonna be.
MC.
Well, apparently you're in the beauty pageant.
You're in the, yeah,
Yeah.
swimsuit.
There we go.
Alright.
Okay,
Alright.
we will have further discussion, I suspect, on email, and we only meet one more time
Yep.
before the event, so I suspect we'll have to get the ball rolling on some of this
Yeah.
sign up before that, so thank you. I would open the floor to public comment, but seeing nobody online or in person, I will move on to item 6, new business. Item 6.1, election of commission chair and vice chair. The commission will act on this item. Principal Management Analyst Laurel James will now explain the chair and vice chair roles and responsibilities, as well as the election process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. I want to explain a little bit about these responsibilities before we open up for nominations. The chair of the commission facilitates meetings, including meeting with the principal management analyst before each meeting to review the agenda and discuss any concerns, as well as performing ceremonial functions, for example, at the annual celebration of service, presenting for the commission, and then occasionally in other events or capacities, introducing the commission, opening of the event when the HRC holds an event, and representing the HRC in those capacities. The vice chair steps in to facilitate meetings if the chair cannot be present. The vice chair also participates in these pre-HRC meeting conversations for agenda review with me. And then also, again, in the event that the chair cannot attend to fulfill some of those ceremonial capacities, will step in and take on that role. Chair Sylvester, is there anything you'd like to add to that description that I may have missed?
That was very accurate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Oh, and you were going to explain the process, or would you like me to do that?
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate the reminder. So for the nomination process, the chair will open nominations first for chair. Commissioners may nominate themselves or someone else. If someone else nominates the commissioner needs to accept the nomination, will be asked if they are willing to serve. And then after that, we will go through the list of nominations and you will be able to vote on each nomination for potential chair. At that point, we'll switch and do vice chair. The chair-elect will facilitate that process, and it's the same, open the floor to nominations. Folks may nominate themselves or others and accept nominations if someone else nominates them, and then we'll move on to voting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there nominations for the office of chair? And remember, you may nominate someone else or yourself. Commissioner Webb.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Eric McCon for chair.
I accept.
I was just about to ask if there was a second, which is not necessary, but I will second that in whatever they call that. So you accept?
Yes.
Commissioner Poicon? Thank
Thank
you. Just wanted to make sure. Do we have any other nominations? I see no other nominations. I will now, nominations are now closed. Principal Management Analyst Laurel James will now take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Chadwell, I suppose we are voting specifically on the selection of Commissioner Poicon as chair of the HRC for the coming year, 2025. Commissioner Chadwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Commissioner Lester? Yes. McDonald. Commissioner McDonald, do you vote yes or no? Okay, good. Thank you. Commissioner McDonald, do you vote yes or no on the nomination of Commissioner Poicon as chair?
I guess I just nodded, yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Poicon?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Sorry.
Yes. Commissioner Webb?
Yes,
And Acting Chair Sylvester?
Yes.
And with that, Commissioner Poicon has been selected as chair for 2025.
Thank you.
And then Chair-elect Poicon, if you would facilitate the nominations and selection of vice chair.
Yes, definitely. Thank you all so much for the nomination and for your votes. I will now open nominations for vice chair for the year 2025. Is there any nominations?
Why is everyone looking at me?
Why are you looking at everyone?
Oh, I'm nominating.
I am having a little bit too much at home right now to accept. What, do I have to accept?
You don't
No.
have
You would
to.
need to accept.
I have to accept?
Fine.
Okay, I accept.
Was
Or
confused.
Wait, so
sorry.
you-
Let me clarify, Commissioner Sam, in order to be voted upon and be selected, you would need to accept.
Okay.
You are not required to accept the nomination.
Okay, so all your wording said you accept it, and I was like, okay, so
Oh.
I have to accept it, even if I can say
It's
like,
an opt-in.
No, 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 no.
situation.
okay.
No,
I
first.
unfortunately have to decline because I will be taking some time off pretty soon, and it's gonna be rough for a little bit.
It's fine.
Understood.
I nominate Commissioner Chadwell for vice chair.
I will accept that. It's for the,
Vice chair.
Vice
Vice
chair.
chair.
yeah, but for 2025. So
Starting today.
got it, okay,
Yeah.
December 2025.
got it, okay, yes, I will accept that.
Any other nominations?
No.
Okay, seeing none.
All right,
Please roll
so
call.
a vote on the selection of Commissioner Chadwell as vice chair for 2025. Commissioner Chadwell.
Yes.
Take
it.
No.
I accept it, no.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner McDonald.
Feet to the fire.
Don't.
Commissioner McDonald.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Poicone,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Webb,
Yes.
and acting chair Sylvester.
Yes. Sorry. I don't think I'm acting chair. I don't know who I am now.
For a moment.
I'll just say yes.
With that, Commissioner Chadwell will be serving as vice chair of the HRC for 2025.
Howdy.
Thank you, everyone, for.
Did you just say holy cow?
Boy, howdy.
Boy,
Boy,
howdy.
howdy. Is that the new holy cow?
Holy
Same
cow.
genre.
Thank you all for partaking in that. Moving on, item 7, commission staff announcements, updates, requests, and committee reports. Do we have anyone who has a report or an announcement they would like to share with the commission this evening?
Beginning with commissioners.
Commissioner Sylvester.
Now that the policing commission has been disbanded, will the HRC be hearing the annual police report like it used to in the past before that organization or before that committee had been formed? Question. I assume that the staff would need to take this back, but I'm curious.
That's correct. Thank you, Commissioner Sylvester. That's not a question that I will be able to answer this evening, but I will check in and circle back.
Great. I think we would be very happy to have it
Mm.
come back to us.
Does anyone have, any of the commissioners have an announcement?
Yeah.
Joan, do you have an announcement? Do you have an announcement?
No,
Okay. Yes, Commissioner Sylvester.
Sorry, a lot of times since I've seen all of you. Would it be possible for people to get, I'm sorry, Commissioner Lester to get assignments to subcommittees tonight? And is it possible to set up meetings for all the new subcommittees that were kind of on hold, waiting for this new year?
Yes, that won't occur during this meeting, but that is in the works and Commissioner Lester and I have been discussing
Great.
the openings on the subcommittees that are available.
Sweet.
You, Commissioner Sylvester. I just have an announcement. So earlier this afternoon, several of the commissioners and I, Commissioner Sylvester, Commissioner Chadwell, and Commissioner Lester attended the rapid response training for folks who are interested in becoming responders within their respective communities. It was very much well attended. We had over 700 guests. Many, I'm proud to say, were Mountain View residents, so that was amazing to see in the chat. I encourage anyone who watches this meeting to attend one of the meetings and also partake in the training as well and plausibly become a responder. It is not only a way for us to ensure that our community is well guarded and also for us to take accountability on what ICE's actions are, but it is also to, as they mentioned in the meeting, a way for us to disprove rumors that may exist within our community, especially when, as we're noticing now, many families are too scared to even go to work or send their children off to school. So there is a line that is accessible to the public. It is 408-290-1144 in case you do see an ICE sighting or in case you want to learn more about the Rapid Response Network and what they do. I encourage anyone to call them, but I'm very proud to have seen many of our commissioners in attendance. I encourage our other commissioners to attend when able to. It looks like they're gonna have this a monthly cycle on this.
Repeat the number.
408-290-1144.
Okay.
And this is Santa Clara County specific.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
I wonder, has anybody been aware of ICE people in Mountain View looking for people?
Yeah.
There was a report, I think it was a week or two ago, where ICE was cited. I believe it was in the old Mountain View
Mhm.
neighborhood. So that being said, so some of the things that were mentioned throughout this training were they're not doing raids, they are going after individuals that they've ascertained as like individuals they want to get. But
Yeah.
just being us aware as residents that there is a difference between a judicial warrant, which is something they tend to administer, versus a judicial warrant, which they're not gonna be knocking your door, they're just gonna be coming in and getting you. And knowing that whether undocumented or citizen, you do have rights in this country and you have a right to be for us to uphold those rights. So yeah, that's as much as we've known about Mountain View. I'm hoping that through these trainings, we're able to get more responders. We're able to educate our residents with the Know Your Rights trainings that will be upcoming. And that way, if in case there is incidents where they're planning on getting our residents, that we'll be able to keep better track of them.
Well, I know people who have stopped going to work, stopped going to grocery stores. And it's really scary for them. So if there's anything we can do as individuals to help, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, and I think we can't discuss at this meeting because it's not agendized, but I think it would be interesting for us as the HRC, especially as this is still impacting our community, what are plausible things that we can do, hopefully in the near future. So yeah, to be discussed at a future date. Any other announcements before I turn it over to staff?
Well, before you finish, is there a website or anything where people can reach out to find out that information? Or Rapid Response Network.org or something like that?
So I can definitely send all over the information to Laurel at the end of this meeting. That way each one of the commissioners have access to that information, whether it be their number, their social media handles. Their website tends to be with Amigos de Guadalupe. So that's where you would find a lot of the rapid response handles or information
Well, I
or
know
tools that they have.
They do have an Instagram.
Yeah. So, but I'll be sending that to Laurel after this meeting.
Another small announcement is of just recent volunteer activities. I know that myself and at least Commissioner Sylvester participated, I'm not sure if anyone else did, participated in the point time count with the city of Mountain View and the county of Santa Clara, which if anyone's unfamiliar, it's to fulfill HUD requirements where basically they take a point in time and send volunteers out to various parts of Mountain View. You get assigned a territory and you go and you physically count how many folks are unhoused. You note your observations, you interview people if they're up for it. And it it was a great experience. I feel like I learned a lot. Obviously, it was, a heavy experience. But I also wanted to say thank you to Laurel and for whoever it was that brought that opportunity to our mailing list, because that was how I got signed up, was because it was sent as a, hey, HRC, you might want to do this. And I was like, I sure do. So thanks, because, because of that, I was able to participate. And I don't know if you want to say anything about it. Ms. Lester. I'm like,
You,
Get you.
over there.
Yeah, right.
I get choked up.
Yeah.
A really long name. Yeah, for anyone who's interested, it happens every other year only, so you'd have to wait a couple of years. Heavy describes it pretty well, but it also just trying to be part of the count really helps you understand the nature of being unstably housed in our community, like at a quadrant of the area my team got. It's not an area with a lot of known unstably housed people. So we were driving up and down all these streets and I almost felt obtrusive, but then it was like, we were stopping people, asking them if they were unstably housed when we thought that it was just a little weird and felt a little heavy. And I mean, I've done this kind of work before, but I've never done a point in time count. And yeah, it's important to do. And a lot of people didn't show up on the day. So hopefully lots more people sign up in 2 years. And maybe even form teams going into it ahead of time. That might make it a little easier. Cause I just went in saying, sign me up with anybody, but I think it would have been easier to go with, like, if I had known you, we would have gone
Right.
together.
Hmm.
That might have been easier to work through some of it.
Good point.
That's a good idea. I've done it twice and I felt that the data that we collected is important, but not complete. Because people know we're coming
Yes,
and they disappear.
Hmm.
that would explain a few things.
So do you guys think there were like the demographics of the people that were out looking? So
Mm.
like age, were they younger, older?
It was all over the
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, it was actually really diverse.
Yeah, I did appreciate that, it seems like they had done some specific outreach and, were trying to recruit people that had lived experience.
Yeah.
And so, for example, there was someone on my team that has lived experience and like is receiving services through Hope's Corner. And it was really helpful to talk to him and get to know him,
Yeah.
but also, it made me feel less awkward
Hmm.
about
That's really
being
cool.
in these spaces.
Very cool.
Thank you, Vice Chair Chadwell and Commissioner Sylvester for doing that for the community. Truly.
Thank you.
Any other announcements before I turn it over to Laurel?
I have no announcements at this time. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. All right, so last thing is adjournment. So this concludes our meeting. I call it at 7:01. This is our fastest meeting. Thank you all so much.
Fine.
Bye.
Don't worry, the long ones are coming.
Yeah.